voiceover. This is Operation Wagtail, Jungle Op with European Tactical Realism, and this video is really just going to show you some of the decisions I made, some of the functions we've got with Enhanced AI for ETR and Zeus Enhanced, and hopefully give you some idea of or some hints as to what you can do going forward. Okay, this is the map view. What we're looking at here is the ETR squad. They're representing British Commonwealth soldiers from the sort of early 1960s in the Malayan confrontation, Malaya Borneo against the Indonesians. What they've got to do is cross a river just south of their current position, move down, carry on moving south to attack a forward operating base of the Indonesian Army, Indonesian insurgents. What they're coming up to in a short while is a river crossing. Time of the mission, it's about 6:30 in the morning. When I created the mission, I put a little bit of fog down, or mist, ground mist, that you tend to get in the jungle first thing in the morning. And this will hopefully add a little bit of atmosphere. These red circles we can see here are pre-placed enemy AI that I've put down. Most of them have got patrol waypoints, and also they're synced in the editor to our custom-made module, which will seek to move the AI ahead of the Blue 4 forces. In simple terms, it kind of predicts where the AI, where the Blue 4 are going to be at a fixed period in the future, and tries to give the AI waypoints so that they will intercept those positions. The module won't kick in until the units go essentially into combat mode. So we should see some waypoints moving around the map as and when certain groups are engaged or react to the Blue 4 presence. Well, there's the river crossing. You caught a glimpse of it there. There's an island in the middle of the river, and another crossing just on the other side of the island to get to the other bank. What I have done is placed a small rubber boat with some enemy AI in to represent a river patrol.
Front, optical front, team 1 forming right.
Optical front, yeah, building. Side of river.
Friendlies have just spotted the river.
Front, form right.
They're setting up to perform what we
right.
call an obstacle crossing.
Right.
They'll spread out along the riverbank, left and right, keeping eyes left, right, front and rear. Then half of the group will cross, secure the bank of the island, and then the remainder of the squad will move across as well. Now you can just see the boat icon moving sort of top left of the screen.
Friend guns pulling on me, my team pulling on me.
And because it's misty, it's on the other side of the island. They'll hear it, but they won't see it. So again, just providing a little bit of atmosphere for them. You can just hear it.
Right. We don't have civvies in the AO. If we see it, we'll fucking line it up.
I believe we went down the other waterway.
Take it, mate.
I believe we went down the other waterway, just going this way.
I'm going to make my crossing then. Yeah, I'm going to make my crossing then quite quick, and then we can get over and dominate that position. Me.
It just so happens there's a couple of native huts on this island. They'll check those out once they get across to make sure there's, I haven't placed any enemy AI in the buildings. I haven't. Really, all that there is to face them at this river crossing is the boat, which shouldn't really represent much of a problem. It will come back on its return waypoints on the patrol I've set it up for. And there's one or two infantry just on the other side, again on a loop patrol that they might run into, they might not. As you can see, I'm not really moving AI about. I'm just watching our guys perform this river crossing. It looks like there's an awful lot of AI there, but bearing in mind where they're crossing, there aren't a huge number in front of them. You've got one guy just on the right side of the crossing, far side of the riverbank. One guy heading away on the left side, two guys coming towards it, and another patrol on the road to the right heading away. So it should be a relatively straightforward crossing.
Crossing now. Visual.
So you can see there's just one guy to the right. I've just moved his waypoint, just dragged it across, so there's a chance he might still be close if they decide to cross again. What I'm doing here is just quickly dragging a couple of the patrol waypoints for the boat, so that again it'll just pass relatively close to them as they're crossing. It shouldn't represent much of a challenge. There's just an infantry guy in as the, if you like, the boat driver, and two or three infantry armed with, I think these guys have got the Garand rifles, and I think there's one M1 carbine. So there's about three guys in there. As you can see, they're moving to secure the next crossing point on that island. And hopefully they'll have a little bit of fun with this rubber boat that's just heading back up the river. Again, just dragging those waypoints for those three infantrymen effectively 2 groups, just so that there's a little bit of action at the crossing. Nothing major. They should, I can't remember how many there are, I think there's 13, 14 people playing, so you know, it shouldn't be much of a problem. Now, we've had a late arrival. I think this is...
Hello.
Yeah, that's young Spot. He just had to download one of the mods, I think. So what I'll do here is just teleport him into his
Right, okay.
his group. But you get a good idea of what the uniforms and the look of these soldiers are like. That's a polymer SLR 762 that he's carrying. British sort of Far East cotton outfits.
Right.
Webbing and a backpack.
Yep.
Here we've got some ammo crates that have got extra ammunition that he can load up for his rifle, some grenades, some smoke grenades, and there's some medical supplies as well if he chooses to
no problem. Take your time.
update what he's carrying. It looks like they're getting ready to cross. And there they go, crossing the river. As you would have seen, there's essentially just 3 AI opposing the crossing.
Matt, caution. This is a deep one. Go for contact.
Okay. Contact. I think that's the guy, as we look at it on the right, who's spotted them and has opened fire while they're halfway across the river. So, with the mist, it's going to be quite difficult for them to see him. As you can see, he's fairly close to them.
Contact front right across the river. Front right, roger.
The team on the remaining on the bank have actually spotted him. He's actually pulling away. I think it's at this fairly soon we'll see the rubber boat make an entrance. I'm just nipping back to make sure Spot's okay, then I can just teleport him to the other group.
Yeah. No, it's fine. I hear the fighting, so take your time. Yeah, I got it.
Choosing the teleport point or arrival point, and I've just stuck him with section 2 on the north side of the river.
Yeah, I'm awake now. Contact front of me, inside 100 meters. Copy, we'll be engaging. Thank you.
Awful lot of fire with 3 AI, but I'm sure they're struggling to work out where exactly they are. Fairly light contact. The key thing is not to kill all of your players early on in the operation. It's Saturday night UK time we're playing, and you know, if people only get to play for 20 minutes, it's not really a lot of fun for them. Here comes the boat. We'll have a quick look at that in a second and watch that getting shredded. They should hear it now.
Audio boat, audio boat.
There we go.
Left, 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 left boat.
Boat drover's been hit. The 3 infantrymen are in the water. Oh, and the driver. And they're getting nailed. And they're all dead. So none of them made it.
Matt, wants check. Prepared to move. Rapid cross.
Just make sure that none of them are still alive.
Yeah, roger.
I just deleted an
I'm on
additional
contact down the
AI
road from
who
me.
was just
Left 100.
placed a little bit south of the road. I thought they've got enough on their plate
Yeah, roger.
without throwing another infantryman in at them. Team leader's armed with a Thompson submachine gun, making good use of it. His colleague is not taking cover. He's covered by the
Well
AA, I think.
established right flank. Enemy down the road to the south, less than 100. Patrol, 2 to 3 men.
Both AI there were hit. They've been hit, and they just arbitrarily decide to bandage themselves. One's dead. Other one's dead.
New contact, further right of us.
Roger.
Bearing out. 210.
210, roger.
Interesting. There's nothing out of 210 unless they're referring to those 2 guys that were already dead.
Believed to be neutralized.
Roger, I'm going to make it to the road from my left flank. ARD, T-junction. ARD, T-junction.
Okay, they're setting around, up an all-round defence at the junction that they're located at, probably just to get the anybody that's injured patched up by the medics. looks like we've got another player just come onto the server. I'll have to teleport him in a short while. From memory, I think that was Equilibrium. Yeah, there he is. Give him a little while just to get himself sorted out supply-wise, then I can move him to the rest of the group.
Wow. Hello.
Equilibrium's dressed
I can hear you
as
very
a
faintly.
native scout, so he's armed with an M1 carbine as opposed to the SLR and the Bren guns that the British, if you like, the British units have
Yeah,
got.
I kind of did, and got some extra bandages.
Just to give them a variety of weapons, the squad lead, the 2 ICs have got early version M16s, which the British did actually use in this campaign. SLRs and L4 Bren guns, 7.62 Bren guns, and 2 native scouts, just with a US Army surplus M1 carbines, and a pretty cool looking hat.
We're ready on you. Copy.
Moet lopen.
Looks like they're making their break south for the waypoints that they're pre-marked. I've put some supplies around the map to kind of represent hidden caches, which have been placed by other British patrols and porters in those days. They're not hidden, they're marked on the map, so it means I haven't got to worry about resupply in this particular era. You know, it was early versions of helicopters were around, but the terrain historically was, you know, incredibly thick jungle, and if you wanted to move quickly, rivers were tended to be the only way you could do it. Actually, trying to navigate through jungle is and fight in jungle is incredibly difficult. Two staggered column representing the 2 fire teams. It's Matt Fighter on the left, I think, his group, or fire team, and Sharp on the right. Now these guys, they're moving towards us, it's a spread out group, a bit of an experiment. They're set up so that they're kneeling, and I've disabled AI path on them. And I've got a tiny little script running in the background which will enable AI path when they basically detect your enemy. You see it's still foggy, there's only 2 guys close to them, and they're not really sure what they're being engaged by.
75米就在前面。
He didn't last long.
Okay. Form line bearing 150 push forward. 150 push forward.
Now this guy here, this enemy AI, they've actually bypassed. They haven't spotted him, and I struggled to get him to move. So I'm pretty sure what I did was I deleted him and then placed another guy approximately where he is, and ran our little module AI attack on him, just to get him to move around the forces. You can see they completely bypassed him.
30 seconds, 1 minute.
Copy. 30 seconds to 1 minute.
Clearly that little function, there goes a waypoint that's been automatically generated, but they're not really, it's not really working as I expected it to. It's only a tiny little program, but or function. It needs a little bit more work, I think. It's generating the waypoints, but the disabling the AI path has had some peculiar results. That guy's moving. That was the group leader. I deleted the guy that wasn't moving and replaced him. And there I'm just dropping the AI attack module on him.
Single file.
And you'll see it's automatically generate a waypoint in a short while, based on where it samples the velocity of the nearest unit and selects a random time frame between sort of 30 to I think 30 seconds to 2 minutes, and then based on the velocity and the direction, it kind of predicts where the AI will be, or the Blue 4 will be at some point in the future. It updates every couple of minutes, so there's a lot of randomization in there, so you could play this mission 10 times and get 10 completely different results. There I've just placed another AI in, just in front of them to give them something to do. But again, it's not overwhelming force. They're finding it difficult to spot contacts in this terrain. It's still foggy, still misty, and they've got to move reasonably quickly. They've got a way to go, so it's not like they can just go very carefully and take a step and check left, right before they move forward again.
Matt, due to the size, obstacle looks to be small. Cross that. Oh, contact right.
Right, so AI top right, he's in contact, and it's plotted a couple of waypoints, which I think is a fallback waypoint with a flank. He's now got 2 waypoints. Looks like the guy on the left is engaged as well. He's moving in. He's dead. They're both dead. Which leaves just one guy who, for some reason, is hovering around the supplies at FOB Jasper. Somebody's posting grenades. I'm not quite sure why. Okay, that's generated a waypoint for him. He should move slowly away from that position now, but he'll obviously still be in the area as they make their cross the river. I like AA to move dynamically, and as far as possible I try not to control them. I
Olguchi,
think you get a
two
more
down.
sort of
We're point back.
mobile and
What I
interesting
was going to say, obstacle looks to be
battle
clear.
against the AI, as opposed to
Recommend
just
we
sticking them
cross
behind
same time to
fortifications
minimise
or
that time stationary.
in rooms
So
or
we're just
whatever,
going to
or
reform and
using
cross.
some of the
Copy.
sort of AI
Then go back to
behavior
location now.
mods that are out there, which I think, in my view, tend to make the AI behave a little bit janky. So, yep, that guy's now generated another waypoint. He's still close to friendly forces. And what I'm doing here is I've put a group of 4 down.
Ready to go.
I'm just setting up
Right,
a little
step off,
patrol,
let's
a circular patrol for them
收到，
in front of the
了解，
my expected,
很明确，
my view of where they're expected, the players are expected to move.
Right, keep direction of movement 160. Keep your eyes out for the fob.
Just setting them in safe mode, column, and walking to represent a patrol. And dropping the AI react function onto them, which means when they go into combat mode, those patrol waypoints will be deleted, and the AI will start to try and move around the in and around the players to represent contact.
Visual 10, our side, front. Copy.
Yep, that enemy AI is still hovering around off their right flank. Okay, predicted waypoint generated. I don't really care if it's if it's too close or not to the players. I'm just trying to give them something to do. They spotted him, I think,
Right.
or he spotted them. Now he's trying to withdraw. See if he makes it.
You good? Contact still.
A lot of fire for one guy. He's throwing smoke. It's obviously a withdrawal mode he was in. He's crawling away. Clever lad. And now he's up. Bandaging. They always do that in the most inconvenient place. Not the most sensible place, I should say. They're pushing him. Smoke's given them a point of reference. But he's still moving away.
Matt, update.
Unconfirmed if enemies have been neutralized. Either they've disengaged or they are neutralized.
Roger. Give it a minute and then fall back in. I want you guys to rearm first.
Copy.
Still falling back. He's charting up some of the waypoints for the other groups now. Okay, trying to give him something else to do. Dropped a fire team in. Trying to stop that guy from regrouping. Just put a do stop on him. Okay. A little fella on there.
Andy.
To the southwest is now starting to move back on into them. ND, you might have heard in the background, that was negligent discharge. One of the players hit the wrong button on his mouse. Just playing around with pathing and stopping with this this group I've placed just in front of them.
Come back now, Sharp.
Roger.
Means you can spread them out when you place them. For an ambush in jungle, you don't want them. You know, we want to place them down and they start running about and regrouping. Got one of our modules on them, which will, when they go into contact, will enable them to move and enable AI paths so that they can respond to the players as required. That guy was still sort of hanging around to the south. Decided to move him a little bit closer across the river. Didn't change his waypoint. I'll let him just get on and do what he wants to do. Now he's safely across. Big patrol going down that road. And again, spreading that group out. That's a very wide ambush, but let's see what happens. As you can see, I'm not really worried about the waypoints that are being auto-generated being right on the players. I want the AI moving around them. Somebody's got eyes open, they might see this guy heading off there as they look at it, their left side.
now.
Clearly to that group, they weren't responding as I wanted them to. But I think from memory I put a couple, I just replaced them.
One set.
Just put a single scout down. Nice thing about this map is I don't have to worry about the players really being able to see any AI I placed down. I mean, yeah, I've placed those, what, 300-400 meters away. But with the trees, etc., they really can't see what I'm doing. Okay, they should be in contact in a second. Single guy there front. Just reducing the size of that team.
Ready to step off when you are.
Off we go.
So he's on their left flank now. Bottom of the hill. Okay, he's engaged. He's been spotted. He's dead. Again, somebody's posted grenades. And another one. Not quite sure why. Oh, I'm getting a tad aggressive here. Looks like I'm putting some more AI in against them.
Shall be pushed up on your right, 150 meters.
Roger, we're contact clear. We're just sorting out a minor injury and we'll be moving on.
Copy.
Contact left.
Okay, that'll be the three-man group. It's engaging the rear element. It's plotted a wide waypoint flank. So seeking to move away from the players. Somebody's AFK. Equilibrium. Did I overdo it with the AI here?
Roger.
So we've gone to stealth mode. Brain guns are taking those guys out.
Matt, we have contact to our rear. I need to see, when we wait till I go visual on you.
Repeat the last end of that conversation.
Stand by.
There,
Possible contact rear.
it called that contact rear, but as you can see, there's actually, it shows how confusing jungle fighting is. There isn't any contact rear. Or any close contact rear.
Contact from Buzz 120.
A lot of firing. I think there's only one guy out there. Two guys.
Don't worry, you got this.
Just hold it for the minute.
No, he's stable. It's just he's not waking up. He has a hard way.
Just stitch my chest up. It keeps popping.
Deck
Oh.
front.
I think I'm doing
Aye.
a quick heal here to help him out. So light contact, but yeah, it really caused them some issues. This is the first voiceover I've done. I think I will knock it on the head there. Hope you found it interesting. Cool, but out.